Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Street Fighter Duel video. So, obviously you guys know by now the effigy clash is upon us, it's live, and in their infinite wisdom they were super nice. This is really annoying me because I've done that whole uninstall thing. Oh, do you know what, just to get rid of this I'm actually going to do a summon. I totally do not need anything on this banner, but I just want that finger point to go away or it's just going to annoy me. What's it going to be? It's not going to be anything good, is it? Hey, be Sangy if you're no use to me because I've got you maxed out. Right, anyway, so yeah. What was I saying? Effigy Clash. In their infinite wisdom, they've decided to not let us use this. They don't let us use these. They retired them. I had 23k crystals and they retired them. Can we at least get a trade for these? Can we do something with them? Can we get cash at least so that they're not just sitting in my box until the end of time because you decided to not let us use them, game? Thanks. But anyway, so one of the things that come along with Effigy Clash is missions. And in those missions, when you are doing them, you will get lots of these little tokens, right? Now, some of these missions are easy, some of them are hard. Well, I say hard, but you know what I'm saying. You're going to have to work together with your faction to kind of grow the effigy level, which is going to involve you taking more shots. If you want to really hit the high numbers on these rewards, you're going to probably have to gem to get more attacks in, right, during the period. I think my guild leader worked out it's like 7, I think. Did he say 7? It's in as a message. Yeah, do 7 extra attacks, so I think it's like 350 gems per day, which is going to help you max out your guild effigy level, right? So by maxing out your guild effigy level, and you can see that obviously because we've been doing that as a faction, we can put this quite high relative to what some other people might be able to do, right? And that's going to give you these tokens, like I said. So with these tokens, you obviously get an exchange shop, which is here. This is where the question starts to come. What should you be using your exchange tokens on, right? Now, the layout of what you see in my shop might not match your shop because it's dictated by how far into the game you are. So someone who is really far into the game might have something that looks a bit like mine. If you're not so far into the game, you might not have what looks like mine. It might be slightly different looking to mine, okay? So we'll run through and we'll see exactly what's in here first of all, and I'll tell you what you should prioritize based on where you are in the game, right? So the things you've got in here is you've obviously got your boost stone kits, very vital, very vital. You've got your T1 and T2 engraving stones that allow you to raise up the power of your weapons. These are vital, but less vital than the one above, and the reason I say that is because as you progress into the game, you start to get these quite a lot, right? Not like all the time, but you usually have an abundance of these, whereas with these you might be struggling a little bit more, right? You've got your faction tokens and you've also got your arcade tokens. You've got 3 characters, 2 of which are very vital to game progression. And then you've got your random character. You've got, I believe this is car, yep, an SS car vehicle. Totally not buying that. I've got 8 sitting there that I don't do anything with just now. You've got fodder. Okay, you've got fodder for each of the factions. You've got your blue crystals, which allow you to raise up the level of your fighting heart. That shouldn't be overlooked. I mean, you know what, I'm going to go through priority afterwards, so we won't talk too much about that. You've got your gold boosts, gold fighting spirit stones, and you've also got your original fighting spirit stones. You've got your level up materials for your gear. You've got energy, you've got boost stones, and you've got money. So let's start off with completely non-spending players who are currently stonewalled. You cannot progress, you cannot move on any further. What should you invest in? First question is, what is stonewalling you? Okay, me, for example, on my free-to-play account, whether it's a wall or not, I don't know. But the thing that I'm finding most frustrating is getting units, getting fodder to raise the level of units I've got, and getting dupes of the units that I need, right? So if I take myself as an example, the most appealing things to me in here are going to be most likely probably a copy of Beast Zangief. Now I do have Beast Zangief and he is triple S, I believe. He might be double S plus, but I think he's triple S. And don't ask me why. My Elena is still only A+. Now, the reason she's only A+ is not because I don't have more copies of Elena, because I do. I've got 3 copies of Elena sitting there at A+. It's because I cannot, for the life of me, get fodder for the Thunder faction, right? So, that means for me, the most attractive thing in this store is actually these. And I've bought all these on my free-to-play account. I bought them all. And guess what? I still didn't progress the things I needed to progress. It's just, what the hell's happening with the summons on that account? So next up, I'm probably going to have to use these. Now, it does irk me a little bit getting these because the value just doesn't seem as worth it as these guys. But if you're someone like me who's kind of stuck with fodder that you really, really need, then picking up these guys might be worthwhile for you. Now, okay, you do have the option of these down here, which I suppose is a value proposition. Maybe worth it, right? Now the reason I say that is because you go to these faction tokens, right? These faction tokens are going to cost you, to do a full multi, it's going to cost you 52, right? 52 of your little tickets to do one multi. And from that one multi, now I've had this, you literally might just get C units and 1B. Like, I've seen it happening to me so many times, right? So you've spent all these tokens and you've just ended up with one unit that's fodder and it's left you in the exact same place that you were at, right? Whereas for that same amount, you could basically buy 12 guaranteed fodder units. And with 12 guaranteed fodder units in the correct faction, there is a strong possibility that if you're needing characters to either be A+ to awaken a better character, or having a fodder unit up to S+, then using these is probably going to get you there faster. Now, it can be a little bit anticlimactic to do that, however, the gains that you'll see from that are probably like pretty vast, okay? Now, people might wonder, why am I not saying boost stones? I mean, boost stones, yeah, okay. Now look, I don't think I've spent any of my tokens yet, have I? Just double check. I might have actually. I may have bought exchange swappy things, have I? Did I? No? Don't think I've used any actually. I'm just double checking before I say. Yeah, I don't think I've used any yet. So, I believe I've not used any yet, and I've got 202. Now, from 202, I've done a lot of missions to get them. So if we go down and look at like completed, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then achievements is where most of them are going to be. 6, 7. Oh no, actually it was just from doing the daily runs. Doing the daily runs, collecting the boxes. Actually, it's not that bad, right? 200. So if we take the 200 I've got, and we go back into the exchange tent, and we look down here. So I've got 200. 4, Jesus Christ, 200 divided by 4 is 50. So take 200, times it by 50. Jesus Christ, I've got to do maths on my feet right now. 200 divided by 200 times 5 is what, 1,000? So 10,000. So 10,000, but you can only get 5 of them. So what's that going to do? Like, you can only get 5 200 boost stones. You can get 1,000 boost stones. Who's that going to help? You know? So that's how I'm not saying target them. If it was boost stone 24-hour boosts, then yeah, potentially I'd say go for them, right? So if you're a free-to-play player, honestly, at this stage in the game, probably want to think about targeting fodder guys. Like, it might not seem like the best idea in the world, but depending on where you are in the game, fodder might be your best option. If not, then listen up and look at the things that I'm going to suggest to the more advanced player who's a bit further into the game. So whether you're free to play, whether you're pay to win, whatever, if you're further into the game, I think you could probably signpost this with what I was saying. This would be my number one pickup, like hands down. Just get these, just don't even question it, just get them. The reason I say that is because fighting spirit is so vital to your characters being stronger, better. They allow you to do more things, and these guys are not that easy to get. Even if you're idling all day and you're collecting it, sometimes you just don't get them, you know, like quite a lot of times actually. And I've actually got my boosts in the dojo and stuff like that to, I don't know if it gets me more of them or chests or something, but I very rarely get them, and I've always got to rely on chests. And chests are things that I usually always get from events and other things like that, you know. It's like one of my number one pickups, to be honest. So if I'm being completely honest with you, I would say get the chests. Now I'll show you why I'm saying that. I do not buy boost stones. I do not pick them up. I do not get them from Shadow City. I never ever take boost stones. Not boost stones, engraving stones. Let's go to my bag. I've got a chest that's got tier 2. I've got 4 chests with tier 1. I'm sitting on some of each type. If I need to buy them, I can, but I don't. So why would I purchase more of them? Now you can, right? You can. If you've got an abundance of tickets, then after you've bought out all of these chests, then I would certainly then look at moving down and getting your T3 and your T2 and T1 and T2 engraving stones. They'll definitely be useful to you. But if you are prioritizing, then I would definitely say that you should be going for the these first, the boost stone kits. They are the number one get. After that, I guess it really just depends on where you are on your account, you know. What would be the next thing? Cars, I suppose, but then really the cars are just going to end up being wasted because you want to get triple S cars. These are useful. The amount's quite small. It would still help you, but you know what I mean, it's a pretty small amount. These are also useful, but again, the amount's pretty small. The cost is pretty high for what you're getting, so is it worth it? I wouldn't sacrifice anything else to get them, but if you had leftovers and you were desperate for these, then maybe they're worth getting. But other than that, really, that's about it. So, in my opinion, your number one priority if you are late into the game should be these. If you are earlier in the game and free to play, especially if you are kind of hitting walls and stuff like that, then for me, getting fodder, ranking up the level of your characters is going to definitely be something that can help you out. Obviously, if you're at a point where you need dupes of that exact character, then at that point, that's when you start looking at your arcade coins and your faction coins. But if you are more hitting that wall where you need like any 2 thunder or any 2 wind, that's when you should be doing your fodder pickups. It's certainly going to help you long term, because remember guys, you do not want to be consuming unique units in this game. You want to keep them because they are going to be important to your account growth. Because if you don't know yet, once you reach 240, everything changes, and the more triple S characters you've got, the higher you can raise your account level. So it does become important to keep those unique characters even if you don't like them. Anyway guys, Hayzink back, more videos next time. See you, bye.